For many of us, Washington agriculture means apples, potatoes, wine, grapes, and cherries. But in the northeast corner, from Spokane to Lincoln to Ferry counties, agriculture took on a distinct character shaped by climate, railroads, the rise of dryland farming, and a deep dependence on both grain and livestock. Here's how farming grew in the inland Northwest. Long before settlers arrived, the lands that would become Spokane, Lincoln, and Ferry counties were home to native peoples who knew the landscape intimately. In the Spokane River Valley and the Great Inland Plains, indigenous communities hunted and gathered what the land provided. By the late 1800s, railroads pushing west opened access to these remote plains. Lines like the Northern Pacific and the Central Washington Railway brought settlers, supplies, and the promise of farmland, helping towns grow and connect with markets near and far.
It was an interesting mix of serendipity and sometimes hard times at home, sometimes persecution overseas. A group of people from all sorts of background came here. It's easy to think that these towns and villages are homogeneous. Actually, the roots are anything but that. Oniko, just down the road here, is a Swiss Mennonite community. Dusty is a Black Sea German community. Ritzville and Uniontown and Colton are Russian German. Oaksdale is an Irish community in background. Chinese had a strong presence here, and even some rough and ornery Scotchmen settled here.
In the dry rolling lands of the Big Bend and Palouse, wheat quickly became king. The soil and climate in eastern parts of Lincoln County proved ideal for dry land wheat farming, and by the early 20th century, the region was producing huge quantities of grain.
Grain was sacked at first, and it was sacked for a long, long time. Part of it was the challenge of harvesting on 30 and 40 degree slopes, making movement of that grain in a bulk truck or wagon difficult. And there were interesting characters and stories about sewing with needle and thread all those sacks and the process that went on. One fellow recalling that he was just 16 years old, and in his first half day, he and a companion carried bags, over 20 tons of bags, that they had stitched together from the sack pile off to a wagon.
Along with grain came livestock. In the early years, cattle ranching helped pioneer settlements in the region. Sheep also played a role in the region's ranching landscape.
Sheep were well suited to this land because they could be moved with the effort of a herder and a couple of dogs from place to place to place. And especially as farming started to become more and more of a presence here, you could move sheep pretty handily to unclaimed land, whereas herding cattle was a different proposition entirely.
Nearby in Spokane County, agriculture wasn't limited to fields. Spokane became a major market and processing hub for agricultural products. Farmers brought grain, livestock, and produce to the city to be milled, packed, and shipped throughout the nation. In more rugged parts of the Northeast, like Ferry County, farming was never as extensive as it was in the Big Bend. Timber and mining dominated early economic life, with agriculture present in smaller ranches and homesteads. Today, the legacy of northeastern Washington farming endures. Wheat still defines many landscapes. Ranches and pastures stretch across hills and valleys. And while Spokane is a bustling urban center, it remains tied to the rural places that have fed, clothed, and fueled this region for generations.